Storage. Caulfield's spring opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Good morning. Yes, this is Giddy Up with Gareth Hall, and it's Tuesday. It's the 26th of August. A big hello to you wherever you may be listening on your local SEN Track dial or the SEN app. Massive show coming your way. Of course, Giddy Up, we're streaming live every day on the SEN app, as well as Facebook and YouTube. Thanks to Bet365, because it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Massive Tuesday show coming your way. We'll be catching up with Henry Dwyer. He's just touched down in Melbourne this morning after winning the Group 1 at York, the Nunthorpe Stakes on Friday with his superstar mare in Asphira. So we'll catch up with Henry to kick off proceedings. The champ, James McDonald, will join me just after 20 minutes past 8. Adam Blenko from racingandsports.com after that. Josh Rodder just after 9 o'clock. A couple of the stars have galloped at Caulfield this morning ahead of the Group 1 day at Caulfield Saturday, highlighted by the Memsey. So Fangirl was there and Treasure the Moment as well. And then we've got a big Bet365 Country Racing Hour coming up in the final hour. And between 9 and 10, we've got Bag of Tips. And Adam Hamilton and also Anthony Butt will join me as we talk some trots with Facing the Breeze. I've got a big breaking harness racing story that I'll tell you then. 5 minutes past 8, let's get stuck into the show on this Tuesday morning. What about this on Friday night our time when, of course, Henry Dwyer took out the big race there with Asphira, who was sensational to take out that Nunthorpe Stakes. So we'll catch up with Henry in just a moment. We just got about 5. I think he's about 5 minutes away, Henry, so we'll catch up with him when he's ready to go. But as I mentioned before, we'll have Josh Rodder on the show. Now, Josh is the racing manager at the Melbourne Racing Club, and I'm having a look at the weather this week in Melbourne. Now, Fangirl galloped there on the course proper. She will start, I think, no matter what, despite if it gets into the softer, heavy range there on Saturday, because basically she needs to start to get her spring underway. And then I think she might stay in Melbourne, go to Makybe Diva, and then go back to Sydney for the King Charles. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes there on Saturday in the Memsey. And that Memsey promises to be a beauty. Treasure the Moment, they tell me, is flying. She worked nicely at Caulfield today. Mr. Brightside will finally get some conditions to suit. I don't think he's mad a heavy or slow track on too many occasions, especially at Group 1 level. And he'll get into a contest where he should be able to dominate on speed over the 1,400 metres. And we know how good he is around the heath over the 7 furlongs. And we'll see how he comes back. I know that Wayne Hawkes and Johnny O'Neill told me yesterday that they think that he might be vulnerable this preparation, a year older, coming off that failure in Hong Kong, and whether age has caught up with him. But from all reports, Lindsay Park say he's firing at home, and his main aim won't be the Cox Plate this time around. He'll be aimed up at the King Charles. So that King Charles is going to be a beauty there on Everest Day. And you'll have horses like Fangirl and Charlwolf compete there, which is probably, it takes a little bit away from the Cox Plate. So the King Charles is making its place on the racing calendar, and I think it's getting better each year, the King Charles, and sadly it has taken a little bit away from the Cox Plate, especially when it's not 2 weeks before the Cox Plate. It's only a week before the Cox Plate this time around. So both races are going to be great races, but that King Charles now with Brightside confirmed, Fangirl confirmed, and Charlwolf's going to be a beauty. So Henry's not far away. We might take a break here and then we'll come back with Henry. James McDonald, we'll get a break out of the way, and then we'll come back and catch up with Henry next.
Stowe Storage. Caulfield's Spring Opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. Gareth Hall with you on this Tuesday morning. We'll catch up with Henry in just a moment, but James McDonald's not far away, the champion hoop after. He had a big day there on Saturday. 120 Group 1s for the champ. He's only 9 away from becoming the all-time great when it comes to Group 1 victories in this country. He'll surpass Damien Oliver if he can get 9 more. Of course, Ollie had 128 Group 1 victories. So, and he's in for a big spring when you have a look at all the good horses that James will be riding over the next couple of months, and he's ready to go. James, good morning to you. Welcome back to Giddy Up.
Gareth, how are you, mate?
I am well, mate. How's things with you? How's the yoga going, the ice baths? You enjoying life?
Oh, yeah, going all right. It's good to be back into it, obviously, after the winter break, but it takes some work, that's for sure. Month of August is hard work.
Yeah, I know, but someone's got to do it. You tell me the conversation you had with Darren Beedman and Chris Waller on the Friday before that meeting went ahead there at Randwick when you were walking that track.
Oh, well, it was buckling rain, so
Yes.
it didn't look promising, and obviously Chris, when I walked it, he wasn't that impressed at the time, but we did walk it at the worst time.
Yeah.
And so we had 12 hours of dry and weather, and it raced incredibly well considering the amount of rain we've had here. It's been relentless, so full credit to them. They've done a bloody good job.
Was it your decision? Does he talk to you throughout the day to get your opinion on the track, and you say, well, yes or no, we're right to go, Chris, or you're a little concerned? What's the? Does he leave it up to you?
I want them to run.
Huh?
Of course I want them to run.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
going to win.
But you'd rather win a Cox Plate than ruin her preparation by starting on a track that's too heavy, wouldn't you?
No, I won't ruin her preparation.
No.
She can still win a Cox Plate.
Yeah. Did she surprise you how well she went there on Saturday?
Yeah, she did. Obviously, there was obviously the track, but in saying that, she has handled it before, and she only had that one blemish down in Flemington, but Flemington and Randwick completely do different wet tracks. And I thought as long as she could get her toe into the ground and get a bit of grip, she'll be fine. And she, arguably, one of her best runs of her whole career was in the Champion Stakes in England when she should have beaten King of Steel, who's one of the best weight for age horses up there. So at the time, and that was on bottomless ground. So look, she's got form on it. It's not like she was a complete duffer. And as long as she travelled well and zipped home 2 furlongs, she was going to be in the finish. And it was a good race to ride in.
It's difficult for us punters, isn't it, J-Mac, when you have a look at the different tracks and say it rained during the day there at Flemington and it was slippery. When she went down, everyone thought, well, she can't handle a rain-affected track. And then you get some horses that go on a heavy track at Rosehill but can't go a yard at Randwick on a heavy track. I think Light Infantryman's the perfect example. Kieran Martin says before the race that he goes well on rain-affected going, but he couldn't gallop at all there on Saturday. So it's amazing how different horses handle not just different track conditions, but different surfaces.
Yeah, for sure. That's 100% right. I think from memory that Flemington was about a soft 6, and then about half an hour before her race, it just it rained steadily for about half an hour, so the track was in immaculate order before then, and then it became just quite dicey, and I think it was run at a really good pace. I think Pride of Jenny was in it as well, so she was making a long, sustained run on it as well, so it was a completely different setup there on Saturday.
Eliana, did she give you a fright?
Yeah, she went well. She dived up the inside. I didn't think there was a horse that should have been coming with us at that time, and she did give me a little scare. But saying that, like, Via would have probably gone another furlong, won by the same sort of margin. She's always in for a bit of a fight. She knows she's a line chaser, so no, it was good. But there was many good runs in the race. Obviously, Brindrocks will improve on better ground, and same with Cleo Wolford.
Do you hear Johnny O'Neill and Wayne Hawkes yesterday on the means test? They had to apologise to Joe Pride.
Why?
Because they said that Charlwood, the only Group 1 victories you'll be winning will be the Railway Stakes and the Northerly in WA. But he's on track for a King Charles with the way that he went, which is good for racing, I reckon, to have a Char Wolf do what he did there on Saturday, James.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously that race is going to be a really good race, strong renewal. I think there's a couple of overseas horses coming for it as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you throw Sango, who's obviously in the Memsey this weekend, and she'll probably head back. And, it's just always a good race to be a part of that one. It's very competitive.
Will you stick with Via Sistina throughout her campaign? Because I know that there's a couple of meetings in Sydney that clash with some big races with her campaign in Melbourne. I think last year you missed out on a Turnbull, didn't you?
I definitely missed out on one.
Yeah, it was the Turnbull.
I forgot what day that was. I think that was Epsom Day at Clashes.
Yeah.
We'll just work through that as we go along. But hope to stick with it.
What's Autumn Glow's best trip?
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
She definitely feels like a miler to me.
Yeah.
Love to see her and a King Charles taking on those horses. But obviously she's going through the handicapped way of going, which is fair enough because she's so well in. But, she was great on the weekend and it's good to have her back.
So many options. I heard Mr. Mazzara the other day on radio, and he was mentioning that wouldn't even completely rule out at the moment a Cox Plate path with her after an Epsom, like Winks did, and her before she won her first Cox Plate. So,
well, if this mare can run 10 furlongs, it's going to be pretty scary for opposition.
It's amazing she's doing what she's doing over 1,100 metres then.
Yeah, it is. But she's shown plenty of pace at the trials. She's got great tenacity, great will to win, and she's something about her.
Have you ever gone into a spring, like you've always got really good rides to look forward to, but I can't recall a better group of horses you've got heading into the spring?
No, pretty lucky there. Chris has got a very powerful stable at the moment with those mares. There's a few you haven't even mentioned, like Jolly Star or a Lady Shenandoah.
Yes.
So, they're very strong, and they look like they're going to take the necessary step, which some of them do, some of them don't. So we're still optimistic that they can come out and perform at a high level and make that necessary leap. But it's just good to have them all back and racing in good form. They all look great. They're all feeling great. And look, there's been no stone left unturned with them. The guys do a really good job there and turned them out in immaculate order, and we couldn't have hoped for a better start there on the weekend.
Who are you riding in the Everest, Joe, mate? Can you give us some type of exclusive?
No,
Come on, brother.
Don't know yet. I'll just see what
give
happens.
us something.
We'll see what happens, how the cards unfold over the next few days.
You're coming to Melbourne to ride Lady Shenandoah in the Manikato?
Yeah. That's on a Friday night.
Correct.
So it doesn't clash, and that's going to be a really good race for her. Obviously, I think she'll be a good sprinter, and she's training up beautifully. So, looking forward to that actually.
Autumn Boy of Woden.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Well,
I'm hard in questions, G.
Well, that's you can't not ask you the tough questions. I'm not going to look
it's a dead heat at the moment.
I'm excited about Woden's trial the other day.
Yeah, I was too. I was thrilled with him. He's come back in really good order, and he's very athletic. Like he's a nice, clean-winded horse that doesn't take much to come to hand, and he's been pretty enthusiastic in his trials. So he's a beautiful horse. Just needs to get his head in front in one of these biggies, and then he can live up to that hype he's got. But he deserves it. He's a good horse, and I'm looking forward to seeing him as a 3-year-old.
I forgot to ask Chris because I didn't want to keep Chris too long there yesterday.
You're scared of Chris, aren't you?
No, I'm not scared of Chris. I just thought, sometimes he's a busy man on a Monday, and I usually get if he says he's got 15 minutes, I want to keep it to 15 minutes. I don't want to go because I want to get him back on from time to time. But I forgot to ask him about Lasura. She's the poor girl's she's got some pretty handy fillies and mares to compete with in her own stable, but They don't have that, their turn of foot there on Saturday was remarkable.
Yeah, it was really good, and she loved that ground. She got through it really well, and but she's a very good horse in her own right, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's a Group 1 winner in time as well, waiting in the wings. But you mentioned all those other horses, but she's very good, and she's similar to the others that we've mentioned, that she's got great tenacity, great will to win. You can see her pin her ears back and have a crack. So whatever Chris sets her for, I'm sure she'll be very competitive, but she's obviously probably in the handicap way of going group.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we fare there.
Could she get a mile?
Yeah, I think she's no further than a mile. I think 7 furlongs would probably be her best trip. She's got a lethal turn of foot, and she's very pacey. So, and she likes to get a toe on the ground. So she opens a lot of doors, doesn't she?
I've got a race for her, the Rupert Clark 1400 metre handicap Caulfield.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When is it?
Yeah, that's they've changed the date. No, they changed it. Yeah. It's earlier now. It's before the Turak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you been on Tempted's back?
No, I haven't. I thought she was going to be hopefully ready for 2 weeks in the Phillies Princess Series, but she's not by the sounds of it. She sounds like she's going in the run of the road, so I'd take on the boys.
And I haven't talked to Guesty yet, but it was probably he's been travelling around overseas for a long while lately. He has about a good 6 weeks, doesn't he, in Europe, or a month? On the back of your success, you earning millions. But he's really got to lift his game for not giving you a ride or getting you a ride in a Melbourne Cup last year.
It was pretty poor.
Yeah. Have you got a ride in the Cup? Like Land Legend, I'm all over Land Legend. I reckon Zach couldn't get him to settle last year because he was just too keen. And
Reece Jones got him to settle well, and then Nick Crossman won.
Jonesy, so are you committing? Have you got any leads for us regarding a Melbourne Cup?
No, I haven't actually. I'm sitting pretty there at the moment. I'll just see what happens over the next few weeks, but to play out with all those races.
Yeah, and you must be happy because the weights have gone up as well. So you shouldn't be on the sidelines. There should be some more opportunities.
Hopefully we'll get an opportunity there. But yeah, looking forward to the spring. We've got some nice horses. So.
What are you looking forward to Saturday? What have you got there?
I got Wotan, which I'm really looking forward to. It's a really hot race, the San Domenico this year. I reckon a good bunch of colts. I think a Pop's trialling out well. Baywhack, Wotan. Probably missed a couple there as well, but they spring to mind.
What did you think of Carling Rising's trial the other day?
Wow. He let them burn, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
He let them burn. he wanted to test the motor out before he comes to Australia.
Do you think he went too quick, Zach? We'll have to get
Might have.
What about
left it all out on the trial track?
What about Zach's holiday? Did you follow him on social media? He went to all the good joints. Must have cost him a fortune.
Yeah, I thought it was Cristiano Ronaldo living about the way he was
going. What else have I got for you, J Mac? I had one more question for you. That's about it.
How's the Tagster?
The Tagster, you're a bit disappointed that he's been he had you sixth. So he didn't have you in the top 5 and he put you 6. I didn't think Ethan, who does our social media, I thought it was only top 5, but it's a top 6. He had you 6. What's your thoughts about that, James?
We're going to keep improving.
You do have to keep improving.
He's a hard taskman.
He is.
Tagster, isn't he?
He is. He said to me, he only put you there just to try and inspire you because he thought maybe you had a bad day.
I've got to work on Adelaide's form. That's what I'm going to do.
He said to me the other day, he goes, Gareth, you'd be too scared to ask James. He gave a horse a sore back there the other day. I forgot what it was called. Do you remember
Captain
Which one?
Captain Furrow.
Oh, yes. What happened? I was overseas, J-Mac. What happened there? Yeah. Tags said it was a disgrace. You were a disgrace.
I got it all wrong. I got too far back and way out of ground, but anyway.
Man, you can't get them all right. Hey, I've got some good news for you too, James. You're in Melbourne during the Melbourne Cup week. No, Cox Plate Week.
Yeah, of course.
Giddy Up. I think Giddy Up's going to do a luncheon at the Ascot Vale Hotel, and you're going to be my special guest. So I appreciate that.
As long as I can send the invoice in, I'll be happy.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure. I'll make sure the invoice is sent in. But we appreciate your time. Is there one horse that we don't know about that you're looking forward to this spring?
I think. No, I don't know. I can't. Off the top of my head, I tell you what. I trialled two really nice horses for John O'Shea yesterday.
Yes.
And Tom Charlton, called Not Paponic and Scoop the Pool. They're very nice horses, and you'll probably see them in Melbourne, like a Carbine Club sort of horses. So they're very talented. Well,
we appreciate your time, J-Mac. You got to get the kids to school, so we thank you for joining us on such a busy time of the year. Did you do track work this morning?
Yeah. I just got home actually.
Oh, well, there you go. It must be springtime if you're getting up to do track work on a Tuesday. Good on you, mate.
Tuesday's the main day. See you, mate.
See you, brother. There's James McDonald. We'll take the news and then Henry Dwyer next.
Powered by Signet, making SEN news this hour. At least 20 people have been killed in an Israeli strike on a hospital in Gaza. 5 journalists among the dead, with 2 strikes hitting the facility within around 10 minutes of each other. Aaron Patterson is likely to be sentenced by September 8. Yesterday, the sole survivor of the mushroom lunch that killed 3 people, Ian Wilkinson, told the court he has forgiven Patterson for attempting to kill him. The US is warning Australia needs to increase its defence spending for the AUKUS pact to be successful. And the Aussie share market set to retreat after stocks wavered on Wall Street following last week's big jump. sen.com.au sport coming up next. A round 1 epic unfolding in the men's singles at the US Open. Aussie Alexander Vukic into a 5th against American Jensen Brookby. He lost the first 3-6, won the second 7-6, lost the third 4-6, then won the fourth 6-3. James Duckworth also in action. He's lost the first set against American Tristan Boyer, 5-all in the second.
Melbourne Racing Club members, renew your membership before September 1 to save on early bird.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
As for a light blue sleeves coming up between them. Here's Frost at Dawn the Grey, JM Jungle in the light green, Lady Aman, and then Mumgira running on. But it's As 4 in front, deep inside the furlong. Frost at Dawn is chasing hard. Ain't Nobody is flying late. But it's As 4 as day in the sun as she outsprints them to win the Nunthorpe.
That made my day. As Furu winning the Nunthorpe, Henry Dwyer, he's done a wonderful job as the ambassador for Australian racing, travelling Europe, leading the way with his superstar mare. He had faith in her and she didn't let him down on Friday. And he joins us now, the great man. He's back in the country. Hello, Henry.
Hello, Gareth. How was your holiday?
It was great, mate. I'm so dirty on myself that I didn't really extend it. I was getting in trouble because I probably went a little bit too long, but how good was that at York on Friday?
Very early in a new relationship to be getting.
Oh, shut up, Henry. Stop you. I had to put up with Wayne and Johnny talking crap about me yesterday. You don't start either. So what about where would you rank that particular day in your career?
Well, obviously it's right up there.
Yeah.
Royal Ascot was special, clearly, because it was Royal Ascot and it was unexpected and the rest of it. But the other day was probably more special just because we had our back against the wall somewhat. She really needed to stand up and be can and show that she was going as well as she can. I wish she did, but it was always a doubt whether that was going to be the case, and it was, so it was great.
Were you expecting her to do what she did? Because it hadn't gone to plan in a way where the transport buggered you up to kick off her European campaign, and then unfortunately the rain came during that week at Goodwood. But was it the perfect situation for her at York?
Well, she had everything in her favour.
Yeah.
It was more a matter of if she didn't do it, then we would have been concerned and knew that she didn't want to be there anymore because there were no excuses. So Goodwood, we sort of had that mentality until the rain came. And I think if the rain hadn't come, she probably would have won there too. But look, we've got other races to go to as well. And now that she's up and going and firing, then you've got to be pretty optimistic about them too.
How good is it, mate, over there? I was lucky enough, and I'm very grateful to you that you allowed me in the inner sanctum basically before her run there at Goodwood. But just I can't believe how popular she is over there and how popular you are.
They've taken to her a bit, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think they like, a bit of something different, and they know that the sprinters probably aren't what they should be the last couple of years, and they've sort of taken her on as one of their own, really. So we're happy with that. It's all a bit of fun and good banter around her against those horses. So, yeah, it's good.
Can you just explain to me, and I want to get these young boys on, but there was a couple of fads as a Furrer that you gave them a dream day at the races. Can you confirm or deny those rumours for me? From Liverpool, were they?
Oh, who was it? There was a couple of lads. One emailed me a few days earlier, and he said we're big fans, and he sent me a video of them cheering her on when she went out on the track at Goodwood. And I said, well, we've got a spare box there, just us here, so you may as well come up. So 4 of them came up, and then I was standing in the urinal, Gareth, and I sidled up next to a bloke, and he explained that he was from Melbourne and he was from York originally, and they planned their holiday around coming to the York races to see us first. So I said, right, I'll bring the family up. So they all came up, and that was a good mix of people, quite an eclectic mix, but it was good.
So these young boys just emailed you, and then you said, well, you can come to the races and I'll get you box tickets at York.
Yeah, may as well. They're only going to waste otherwise. So
how good.
It was good.
And our old mate who used to work here, Huey Fitzpatrick and Freddie Oldfield, they were there as well. They jumped on the bandwagon, and they're in love with your foreman in Simon Morris. Hasn't he delivered quite the campaign over there? Everybody in England and Ireland racing, and now the French racing community know who Simon Morris is. He's nearly the biggest name in Australian racing.
He's become a cult icon over there, Gareth. It's extraordinary. I've sort of managed to drag him home. I got in at 5:30am, and I think he's about to get in. He was a few hours behind me, but I think he's pretty keen to go back there in a couple of weeks' time. So it's the car. I don't think I'm going to be able to get back there, unfortunately, but
okay.
He'll go over and get the job done.
So she goes to the Curragh now?
She goes to the Curragh now. I think it's 3 weeks from yesterday, or 3 weeks from Sunday just gone. So the Flying 5, which is another Group 1 over 5 furlongs, and it'll be a semi-similar field the other day, minus the 2-year-old, so it's not going to be any stronger by any means. So you'd think if she holds her form, she'll be riding it there too. And
well done to Chanel as well, her strapper, and she done a wonderful job with us for.
Yeah, she has for sure. 2 years in a row now, so she's very dedicated to the cause, and it's not a little thing. They have to give up a fair bit to be over there, and they don't have a day off, and it's a good experience for them. And it's I think she's got a bit out of it, and obviously she's looked after the horse brilliantly, and it's been a really good combination.
Hey, love it, mate. You deserve all the success that comes your way. You've done Australia proud, and I mean that after being there and witnessing it myself. You've represented this country beautifully, and well done with your superstar mare. Bring on the Curragh. Go and beat the Irish on their home turf. And well done with Woods as well. Where did you watch Woods? Woods or Woods?
I reckon I just walked in. It would have been about 3:30am. Just got back from Pop World. They've got a revolving dance floor there at Pop World, which was a bit fun. But rolled in, and I half forgot he was running, and then I sort of just chimed in late and saw the last bit, which was good.
Doesn't get any better, does it? When you're on fire, you're on fire. Thanks for that, Henry. Enjoy your sleep today.
Okay, thanks, Gareth. See ya.
There's Henry Dwyer there. It's 8:37. Adam Blenko will join me next.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Always great to catch up with racingandsports.com very own Adam Blenko. G'day, Adam.
G'day, Gareth. Welcome back.
Thanks, mate. Who's the best horse in the country right now?
The best horse in the country right now is Via Sistina, and I don't think that's up for too much debate, is it?
Second best horse?
Yeah, now we're talking. Well, I suppose it's Antino until proven otherwise.
Yes.
Wasn't that long ago. I know. It happens fast, doesn't it, Gareth? It's Antino's, bursting onto the scene. He's a new model. He's going to stretch Via in the Cox Plate, and
Yes.
2.5 months later, it's like, who? He hasn't run since.
No.
No, I think they're still 1 and 2, despite the flashy speed figure from Autumn Glow, who obviously turned a few heads on Saturday.
Just talked to J Mac. He says that Via Sistina has never been better. Forget about her age. What do you, when you're doing your ratings and analysing everything, do you worry that she's an 8-year-old?
No, mostly because she's 7.
Yes, that's a
good week. Good weekend for the 7-year-olds, actually.
Yes.
Aspura is 7, Barrakeel's 7, Via Sistina is 7.
Yes.
No, I'm not too worried about that. There is an ageing curve. We use a weight for age scale, and obviously we allow younger horses weight for age, and obviously we don't do that at the other end traditionally. But there is the ageing scale would be a curve, and horses would slow as they get a little bit older. But if you have a little look at results in the last few years, horses like Mr. Brightside and Bella Nipotina and these sort of horses are proving that ageing curve probably doesn't start to really taper. Or at least maybe it has started to taper on average, but for these good ones, doesn't really start to taper at 6 and 7.
Yes.
It starts to taper a little bit later than that, and it will taper. So I suppose to answer your question, it is a concern, and she will slow down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no signs of it there on the weekend. I know it was a slow race, not a strongly run race, and things went well for her, but she still ran to a number that's basically bang in line with what she did in the same race 12 months ago. So as it stands, I think we can just expect more of the same.
She's a 7-year-old in the Northern Hemisphere, but 8 in this country. But I know what just people look at the
yeah,
form.
I know.
She's
I'm
an
a
8.
stickler for this.
Yes, I know.
We're a smart race, and we understand that the Earth's on a bit of a tilt.
Yes,
and so there are seasons. We get it. The seasons are a little different at the top than the bottom, but they're seasons. We can understand that.
It's going to be like right now. What do you reckon will be the better race? The King Charles or the Cox Plate? If I could give you one ticket for one of these events, which one would you go to?
Oh, well, I'd be there farewelling the Valley. Actually,
100%.
I'd be there protesting and trying to get them to stop it. One of those people tying themselves to the track. No, don't let them demo it. How dare they? No, the Cox Plate's still going to be race of the spring on paper anyway at this stage. I would think there's going to be plenty of good racing, but Via and Antino, as I said, off the top, they're probably still the two big star horses for the campaign. So, and maybe Aliana ends up heading that way instead of a Caulfield Cup as well.
Yeah, she definitely goes there. She won't go to the Caulfield Cup. I talked to Chris yesterday. I think he's made his mind up there. And I asked him the question. I go, like I can't. So, why do you think the Caulfield Cup, from a trainer's perspective, is harder on a horse than it is than competing at weight for age against the best in the Cox Plate? And he said just getting the miles in their legs to go that extra 400 metres, that his philosophy is that she probably wins the Caulfield Cup, or she's a great chance, but then she might not have the success after that than if they went down the path of a Cox Plate to keep the spring in her legs. And well, he knows better, of course, but that was his philosophy.
It's an interesting one. I'm glad you asked that question. You're getting good at this, Gareth. I'll have to go back and give that interview
I'm disappointed you haven't listened to it already. That hurts my feelings. I listen to you every Thursday.
Well, I'm very busy. Yeah, as you know, I'm a stickler for preparation. So by Monday, Tuesday, I'm preparing for Thursday. As you would know. As you say, Chris has got the runs on the board, and he's an incredible manager of racehorses. So who am I to second guess him? But I suppose I'd love to sit down and have a beer with him and really chat that one out, because I think it's insanity, to be honest. But it doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't sort of make sense to me as someone who, admittedly, I look at racing through a different prism. I look at it through the prism of ratings and what have you, and modelling the results of races. But I do it around the world, and I just think the idea that running 2,400 at the back end of the year for Aliana is a stretch when I look around the world and see horses with far less experience asked to do far more.
Yeah.
3-year-old fillies have this incredible record in the Arc at the back end of the season. So it just seems a little, and they have no trouble training on either. So I'm not sure, but she's clearly trained, for Aliana's sake, she's clearly trained on. In fact, almost incredibly so. She, if you look at that Wing Stakes on Saturday, it's pretty much as expected. As I said, Vera Sistina just did what she does, and probably the others to some extent have done what they were expected to do as well. But she clearly outperformed, I think, expectation. I think you probably expected something more like Chow Wolf's run from her. You probably flip them.
Yeah.
But she's turned up and run. So she's the sort of one little point in that race that, I don't want to say it doesn't make sense, but it's just outside of expectation, where she's basically run to her Derby rating, or depending on how you look at it, maybe even a touch better than her Derby rating. First up in a slowly run 1,400 metre race. That's something. That's something for sure.
I don't want to go back over old ground, but this interests me. You remember we had that debate with Hawksy the other day about Private Harry and Briasa in the Galaxy, wasn't it? Who run a better race or who run a better rating? And Hawksy was the argument that's saying that
Briasa was the moral winner because he drew wide.
Yes, correct. And he went bigger than Private Harry, despite Private Harry winning that race. Who rated better out of Char Wolf and Aliana on the weekend?
Aliana.
Because she beat Char Wolf home.
Yeah, and to be honest, even if you were being a bit clever with the sectionals, which you can be, and you can horses can go massive, Wayne, and you can give them.
What about if Chad did what Jason did?
Credit.
What about if Chad did what Jason did?
I was going to say, because on sectionals, Aliana wasn't stopping, so as good as Chow Wolf was, there's nothing in the sectionals to say that he was better than her. But then you could look at the runs that they got, and obviously things were very different then. So Chow Wolf did, in the situation, like rating for rating, Chow Wolf's come back okay. He might be one that you expected fractionally more of. As I said, you probably flip him and Aliana for expectations. You probably thought he might have been the one to run 120 and stretch the good mare, but he ran 113, I think. And that difference probably is the run that he got. So I think it's... I wouldn't get too scientific. I wouldn't try and be too specific about it, but I think you can confidently say that the rating Chow Wolf ran there is a starting point, and he'll explode off it. And it's great for the spring because, once again, we've got Joe Pride chest out, defending his boys. He's a very proud trainer, isn't he, Joe? And I think that's great. And, he's out there sort of saying, how dare anyone question one of my boys, which is always going to be... It's always going to be done because this is a punting game. It's all about, every time you have a bet, you're questioning every horse in the race. So we're all doubters in a sense. But he obviously takes a little bit of offence, and that's good. He knows how much horse he's got there, and he's probably had a pretty disappointing 2025, good as he's been anyway, but given how good he might be, I still think he's probably in the top. We talk about Vera Sistina and Antino. I think breeding absolute fire, big mile race, or even 2,000 metre race, we could organise it for the Coonji. Chow Wolf be Antino 2,000 round Caulfield.
That was going to be my take you picked just before we went to a break, Antino or Chow Wolf.
Yeah, hell of it. Well, Antino is the one currently in the zone, if you like, and putting money in punters' pockets. So at the moment, everyone would be saying, well, Antino, what are you talking about? But I think if you really got them going and things went well for both of them, it's one hell of a horse race. Talent for talent, there's not a lot between them. So, let's hope we see it at some point.
You can't. So you're saying Antino?
I mean, there's a bit of the old what's Chow. I don't want to upset Joe Pride here, but what's he done for me lately?
No,
put $1 in my pocket, Chow Wolf, and I'll start howling with you.
Johnny O'Neill had to apologise to Joe Pride yesterday because Johnny said that Johnny goes to me before I went away. I've got about 50 seconds. I know I've got to take a break, but Johnny goes, if I was training that horse, I would he'd win 3 group runs. He'd win a Toorak at the top of the weights. He'd win the Railway Stakes in Perth, and he'd win the Northerly. I said that's a little bit disrespectful, but now Johnny thinks he'll win the King Charles. So, yeah, there you go. After just one run. Hey, I've got to take a break. We'll come back, and I've got a few more questions to ask you. I went to Ireland to have a chat to Aidan O'Brien, and he knows who you are as well. So I'll ask you a little bit about some European racing, especially those pacemakers as well. I'd love to get your thoughts there.
Yeah.
So-
no storage. Caulfield's spring opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. Adam Blenko from racingandsports.com is joining me on this Tuesday morning. 0499 736 736 to join our conversation. If you've got a question for Adam, let us know, and we'll see if we'll ask him. Something that just jumped on my desk there. We've got the 9 o'clock news not far away, Adam. So before I ask you another question, there's no point because we'll run out of time. But I've got a few interesting take your picks. So looking forward to that. The questions are rolling in now, and I want to ask you about Autumn Glow and get your opinion on her. Obviously, she was impressive over the 1,100 metres there on Saturday, and looks like she'll be aimed up at an Epsom. But there's talk that she could even go to a Cox Plate, or she might go back and trip after that to a Golden Eagle. So I'll get your thoughts on that straight after the 9 o'clock news. This is Giddy Up, all thanks to Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Powered by Signet, good morning. I'm Adam Pont with SEN News. Australian businesses selling to American customers are facing a new hurdle. From today, Australia Post is suspending most parcel postage to the US due to a US tariff on low-value parcels coming into effect within days. The new levies start Friday, but letters, documents and gifts worth less than $100 American will continue. At least 20 people have been killed in an Israeli strike on a hospital in Gaza. 5 journalists among the dead, with 2 strikes hitting the facility around 10 minutes of each other. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu calling the incident a major mishap. Erin Patterson is likely to be sentenced by September 8. Yesterday, the sole survivor of the mushroom lunch that killed 3 people, Ian Wilkinson, told the court he has forgiven Patterson for attempting to kill him. The prosecution arguing for life without parole, the judge agreeing the offending was horrendous. Accused killer police officer Beau Lamar Condon could enter a plea in court today on his 2 murder charges. He's accused of shooting ex-boyfriend Jesse Baird and Baird's new partner Luke Davies in Sydney 18 months ago. Their bodies later found near Goulburn. The ex-cop will appear in court via video from prison. And Aussie universities will be forced to do better dealing with gender-based violence on campus after historic new laws made their way through federal parliament. They'll apply to every Australian campus as well as student accommodation after research found there are more than 14,000 sexual assaults at universities every year. SEN Sports next. Alexander Vukic has fought to the death in an epic round 1 match at the US Open. The Aussie eventually going down to American world number 72 Jensen Brooksby 4-6 in the 5th set. James Duckworth also lost to American Tristan Boyer. Better luck from Queenslander Adam Walden upsetting French 22nd seed Ugo Humbert in 4.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. This is Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. RacingandSports.com very own Adam Blinker was with me. We've got Josh Rodder, who will join me just shortly, just in the next half an hour. Of course, he's the racing manager for the Melbourne Racing Club. They had Fangirl and Treasure the Moment gallop there at Caulfield ahead of the Memsey on Saturday. We've got Facing the Breeze a little later on as well. Hey, Adam, Autumn Glow, how good is she?
Very.
Yes.
Very would be the answer to that. And I think time nerds will be going absolutely crazy over what she did on Saturday, because it was not a good time in true terms.
Mm-hmm.
The conditions obviously see to that, but relative to the rest of that card, the time looks terrific. The form maybe not so much. Did Wayne give you a lead on Gangster Granny? How upbeat are they about Gangster Granny?
Well, they said that they don't know what Gangster Granny's doing. I asked him if you're going to go to a Moya after that. He goes, we're unsure. We'll just make it. We'll just let the horse tell us.
Well, she's doing well, whatever
Yes.
she's doing. And to make Autumn Glow, truly outstanding based on that single piece of form, would have to drag Gangster Granny along for some of the ride there. But I think the thing about Autumn Glow, and Chris was quick to point out that the Epsom was target number one, and I think that's very wise, because we've seen a lot from Autumn Glow in speed terms and in finishing speed terms so far, and all of it has said that she's just going to be better and better the further they go. So her real talent there is that she's able to not necessarily be fast in a section, but she's able to rattle them off together and sustain that speed. So she's a real bit of a machine, I think. And when we see her at a mile, I think we're going to see a proper Group 1 horse. Probably she's got the makings of the sort of horse that would be a Group 1 horse anywhere in the world.
I wonder what weight she'll get in Epsom.
Well, if maybe the grand plan all along, maybe all these little mini setbacks and such have all been all been foxing. It's a grand plan just to fox their way into an Epsom 12 months down the line. She might even be, the way they handicap these days, she might even be struggling to get in. I'm sure they'll make sure she's in. She'll be a short price favourite in the Theo Marks, and that'll win her way in for sure and certain. So put it this way, the weight won't be what stops her winning an Epsom.
No. I know James McDonald, he can only ride at 55, so it looks like Karen McAvoy will ride her, I reckon, in an Epsom. And then they've got to make a decision. Do they go to a Cox Plate or an Empire Rose, or go to the Golden Eagle? If she stays fit and healthy, of course.
So she'll run, I would think, am I right in saying the calendar should pan out that the Epsom is a perfect springboard to the King Charles?
Yeah, that's an opportunity as well, yeah.
I'd be surprised if they don't follow an Epsom into the King Charles. And I think, is that this year? Unfortunately, I think that's the week before the Cox Plate. We probably need to hard work to get people to sit around a table and be reasonable these days, I suppose. But I think both of those races would benefit from that conversation and sorting it out. You'd make a better King Charles, you'd make a better Cox Plate. Hopefully they can arrange that sort of thing, and then she could look at a Cox Plate. But as it stands, I think she'll run in the King Charles, and all going well. If you come out of that, I doubt, knowing Chris, that they would be thinking, let's back her up in Melbourne 7 days' time. They'd probably think, well, either job done, she's won an Epsom and a King Charles, and we have an outstanding miler in the autumn. And I know the owners are probably half interested in showing her off to the world as well. I think they're quite sporting, and I think something like Royal Ascot kind of rings their bell a little bit. But gee, you'd probably, if you're standing there having won the Epsom and the King Charles, the Golden Pelican's got to be on the agenda, doesn't it? A little throw at $10 million out at Rosehill there. Randwick.
It's at Randwick. It's unfortunate for the Cox Plate in a way that you got a King Charles a week before, and then you got the Golden Eagle a week after. We might do an exercise next week, the horses that would compete in a Cox Plate if that wasn't the case with Sydney Racing, which would be an interesting exercise. Europe's interesting as well when I was over there, and like those pacemakers are causing havoc.
Yeah, they're supposed to remove the havoc. The idea is that they take some of the volatility out, and they ensure a good pace, and they ensure that in theory, the idea is that if, I know this is how your good friend Aidan employs them, is that if he can ensure that a race is going to be run and won in a very fast time, it eliminates the weak ones, and he backs himself in to have the best horse. So if you were Usain Bolt and you were going to race you over 100 metres, Gareth, I think if you were training Usain Bolt, you'd be saying, well, I think you should run 10 seconds and not 20, because at 20 seconds, Gareth might have a chance, whereas at 10, I think Gareth's going to probably blow 2 hamstrings at the 40-metre mark.
Yep.
So that's the idea, but they've twice there this year, and there's actually been a few other bungles with pacemakers as well, but obviously the Sussex was a complete turn up there where they all just sat back off him. So it's all well and good for the pacemaker to make the time, but if they're not anywhere near the pacemaker, they're not playing ball. And then, chaos at your
It becomes embarrassing in a way because they're not on the same page. They haven't, like, they what do? They sit down and go, this is our plan, this is how quick I'm going to go. And so and then you follow me, basically. But what's happening is that there's a couple of points here. They're not on the same page, or the jockeys don't know how quick they're going, and it causes mayhem.
Yeah. I don't think it would be easy, not having ridden in a race myself. It can't be easy to know how fast you're going, because we sit there. I sometimes think this as I sit there and I pore over the sectionals and I think, gee, what was so-and-so jockey thinking? What an idiot. And then I think, well, I'm judging him now off 0.4 of a second here over 400 metres. I'm probably being harsh, but at the same time, they are elite sports people. So we should hold them to a high standard, and I think they should expect to be held to a high standard because they're so bloody good at what they do. But it does seem like it's easy to make a mistake. And I think the further you get away from one another, and I always say this in the winter time when all the experienced and the absolute top shelf jockeys go on holidays, you notice the pace of races change. And I think that's because they don't have clocks in their head. What they do is they use each other as a reference. And if they're all using each other as a reference, it's sort of wisdom of the crowd style. 10 good estimates gets it pretty close to the mark, even if none of them are spot on. Mm-hmm. Particularly if you've got a few really good touch points there, like a J Mac and a D Lane and a Craig Williams in the race or something. All the other jockeys can sort of feed off that. But if a pacemaker goes running 50, 60 metres in front of you, it's probably pretty hard to then gauge how fast it's going, how fast you're going, and figure that all out with the jockeys around you. So they've probably just been suckered in over there to playing jockeys amongst themselves, forgetting about the pacemaker and forgetting about how fast they're going or how slow they're going.
Yeah. Asphira, was great to see her win a Nunthorpe. She got the conditions to suit, and we just had Henry on before, and it was extra satisfying in a way because she had a few knockers. I think she was easy in the market as well, but she proved that if she gets the conditions that go her way, then she's hard to beat. Yeah,
the boys at Timeform over there had her parading like a billy goat. So
yes.
They were very unkind. So I think that might have had something to do with how easy she was to back in the market there. She ran not quite at her absolute top, and it's the sprint scene over there. I mean, it's the sprint scene ever in the world, bar Carrying Rising, is very scratchy and patchy at the moment. But nowhere is it worse than in Britain, and she's taken advantage of that. It was fantastic to see because they've obviously shown a bit of dash and dare, and they've seen their limitations and what races are on offer for her down here, and they've, as I said, they've had a go, and it's nice to see them get rewarded. I noticed he mentioned Hortensia after that, and I'd sort of forgotten about Hortensia, and then when I went back and looked at her relative to Hortensia, it's amazing how similar their profiles are now, even with how often they've run overseas, how successful they've been overseas. And she's run to, I think she ran to 119 there. She's run to 121 when she won at Royal Ascot. And as Hortensia's 3 international wins were 119, 121, 121. And both of them had a peak of 121 in Australia. So they are about as like for like as you can get.
Couple of quick questions before we let you go. Alrifa or Sir Dilius? Take your pick.
So Delius is here. Our big Alan Riffer is a very interesting horse, and I think he's absolutely coming, and there's a few whispers around that he's...
Strong whispers.
Strong whispers that he might even be running patriotically for Australia. He's one of ours. So big Aussie Alan is... he's going to be a huge contender for the Cups. But Sir Delius is here, and I think he remains probably the most exciting... Well, Aliana might have made a little play at that now, but... along with Aliana, the most exciting middle-distance horse in Australia.
Memsey Stakes, take your pick. Another Will, Antino.
I still think, even though we've seen quite a bit of him now, I still think, and we've seen him run some bad ones. Another Will has the talent. I'm very interested in Another Will, just as a horse and just for this spring as well. I think unfinished business with him a little bit.
What about Another Will, Tom Kitten?
Yeah, well, they feel like a bit of a duo, don't they?
Yes.
They feel like a pair of mates. I will v Tom. I'll say Will again. I'll side up a little bit with Another Will. I think we, as I said, I don't think we've seen the full Will just yet.
What about Brightside before we let you go? Another Will.
Well, Another Will now, but I don't think he'll ever achieve what Mr. Brightside has achieved. But my trial spies, I've got pervs all over the land, and I think are the trial pervs, are they getting a little restless about Mr. Brightside? They're not happy.
Well, yes or no, will he win another Group 1, Brightside?
No.
He's proven people wrong before the champ, but it'd be fascinating if he can. I think it's a good race for him if he's right to go. Soft track, 1,400 metres, Caulfield on pace when there doesn't look to be too much pace on paper there. It's going to be a great race.
Maybe I'm a yes.
Yeah, good on you, brother. Thanks for joining us, mate. Looking forward to listening to yourself and Simon Dinopoulos. It drops Thursday, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Racingandsports.com. You go to your local podcast subscriber and you can find the boys there. Pretty easy on Spotify or whatever your podcast provider is. Thanks for that, mate.
Pleasure. Speak to you next week.
15 minutes past 9. We'll catch up with Josh Rodder next from the Melbourne Racing Club after a couple of superstars worked on the course proper at Caulfield this morning.
Caulfield comes alive with Group 1 racing at the SEN Caulfield Underwood Stakes. Tickets just $20 at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. Well, thanks to Bet365 on this Tuesday morning. We had some important gallops there on the course proper at Caulfield, ahead of their big day on Saturday, highlighted by the Group 1 Memsey. And what a race, as we just had a chat to Adam Blenko about that promises to be. The racing manager at the MRC is Josh Rodder, and he's been there, of course, this morning. G'day, Josh.
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to everyone in the land at Giddy Up. Yeah, it's we always talk about spring being in the air.
Yes.
But it certainly was. We had that Melbourne spring wind this morning, Gareth.
Yes. Yes.
Lucky we were tied down.
Fangirl, how did she handle the heath?
Yeah, she cruised around. She actually pricked her ears and looked good for the photo as she ran to the line. She looked extremely sharp. Chris Waller and Darren Beedman were down in Melbourne, which is early for that team.
Yeah.
So the big guns were certainly here on the track and off the track. But Mark Zara was aboard in those famous cerise colours of the Ingham family, and she cruised around Caulfield, looked very sharp, just steady through the first half of that half-mile gallop and cruised home. She looks in good order. The question mark with Fangirl will be this weather outlook. We know she's better on top of the ground. The rain, it looks positive that it will stop on Saturday morning, which will be the key to this track holding together.
How is the track right now, mate?
So, yeah, the track was a good 4 this morning. And, if we were racing today, we'd be in the good 3 range by race time. So it was good for gallops. The boys, we just couldn't afford to water with that rain that's going to come later today and all through the week. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty bleak forecast. I think we only get a reprieve on Thursday. But there was, you never know with Caulfield. I came to training here for a long, long time. Yeah. You'd be here on a jump-out morning. You'd see those dark clouds coming across the bay, and they just split and go round us. And that happened this morning. There was rain coming this morning, and it just missed us.
So if the rain does come as predicted, are you thinking we'll be on a slow to heavy track? What's your gut feel?
I'm thinking if it stops before race day on Saturday, if we get that rain in the morning and it stops, I think we're on a 6, like a genuine 6. So I don't think that would be too bad for any of those horses resuming there on Saturday.
Treasure the Moment, how did she look, mate? She's been to Caulfield a couple of times now.
I'm in love, Gareth.
Yes.
I've fallen for her. Yeah.
It's not easy to fall in love these days as well.
Things have changed. Things have changed at home for me, and I've got a new girl that I want to move in with. Treasure the Moment. She is just a special athlete, Gareth. I remember watching. I probably mentioned this on air with you previously. I watched her win the Angus Armanasco first up here, 1400 at Caulfield in the summer. It was absolutely melting out there. The horses were melting. We were washing horses down post-race. She resumed that day, first up 1400. I know it was her own age, but she sat on speed, coasted around and bolted in. She came back to the mounting yard. She hadn't moved her hair. She wasn't blowing. I've watched her through these first 2 jump outs. I'm not sure, if she can hold this sort of peak form throughout the preparation and where she'll end up at the end of the preparation, whether it's a Cox Plate or a Caulfield Cup or against the mares. I don't know where she'll end up, but she's flying at the moment. Her 2 jump outs have been outstanding. Her race day gallop here at Caulfield was elite. Yeah. And again this morning, she glided over the ground. She looked like she was cantering and she ran time. The 1400 at Caulfield is a speed circuit. It does suit horses that can jump and put themselves there. As you mentioned with Adam in that previous interview, those doesn't look to be a lot of speed. Here to Shock probably rolls to the front. Mr. Brightside's right there. But if Treasure of the Moment can find their back, she's going to look the winner there on Saturday. And around that $9, $10 mark in all-in betting, she'll handle the cut out of the ground. She may be a nice each-way play in the race.
She's the X factor in the race. There's no doubt about that. On the means test yesterday with Hawksy and Johnny O'Neill, Wayne Hawkes, the pressure index was on Mr. Brightside. He comes back after a failure in Hong Kong. He's a year older. But this is, and I know that J.D. Hazy had a chat to Johnny O'Neill on the phone while we're on air, and he indicated that King Charles is his number one aim and he'll probably need the run. But he finally he'll get a slow track finally at Group 1 level around Caulfield which I reckon, along with the mile, this is his sweet spot, isn't it? Slow track, 1,400 metres on pace early on in his preparation, with a tempo that doesn't look to be that strong.
No, he's your Caulfield 1,400 metre specialist, and they're always hard to beat, those horses that can map well like he will on Saturday. You know, the question mark with Antino, he's obviously going great. He's got that residual fitness and he's in for a big campaign. He's won around Caulfield. But the 1,400 at Caulfield, you don't want to miss the kick and be back in the ruck, trying to chase these horses down. That's the question mark with him. Obviously, another Will's a star on the rise, and we know those sectionals Fangirl can run, so it's going to be some race, isn't it?
Who are you tipping?
I'm each way Treasure at the moment. I think she'll run great. I think around that $9, $10 mark, she's a good play in those all-in markets at the moment.
Any other track workers that we need to jot down in our black book?
Just working through them.
Yeah.
Interesting one was Best of the Best. Price Kent came out and worked the stablemate on display. Best of the Best comes out of that really hot maiden at sale. I was on Bradford. Shane Nichols, I think he's a pretty good horse in the making. But Best of the Best was too sharp. I think that form will hold up. He strikes a really, really strong Ive McNeil Stakes there on Saturday. Yeah. There's the form line out of the Vane, Jimmy Ricard, Tycoon Star, and the eye catcher in that race was Express Class, wasn't it? A run, flashing home out wide. So it's how that form lines up when you add Vinrock, Dual Size winner, Group 1 winner, the Blue Diamond winner in Devil Knight coming off a Sydney trial, and then you throw in a horse out of a maiden like Best of the Best. It's going to be a tricky race, but he cornered really well around Caulfield this morning in the Jonathan Munn's colours for Mark Zara, and he was a good gallop this morning. Tell you one that John O'Neill will be happy with. I saw his colours, him and Aussie's colours go around. I like the way kinesiology worked around Caulfield this morning. Jai McNeil was in the saddle. I think he'll go towards that listed Heatherly Stakes and then maybe a Naturalism. Yeah. Like the way he moved this morning.
Yeah. Was Charlotte Littlefield, she's bulletproof there?
She was there, yes. Yep. And she worked strongly under Mark Zara. She was going to work with a partner, but she worked solo. Okay. Looks in good order. That Heath 1100, I think she's well placed in that race there on Saturday. Yes. Zarastro's the favourite coming off that Brisbane winter. Be interesting to see if Marzu comes down. He'd be a horse suited around Caulfield with cut out of the ground. So I think she's found the right race there on She's Bulletproof, who was obviously placed in an Oakley plate around Caulfield, that course and distance earlier in the year.
And I'm a big fan of River of Stars. I don't know if she was there. She's that year-long mare that was purchased by Mr. Zhang from Europe, and she was with Chris Waller in the autumn. I thought her run in a Sydney Cup was mighty. She might go around the Heatherly Stakes.
Yeah, she also worked there this morning as well and looked good. All those Chris Waller horses, they don't tend to do a lot. They work within themselves. But those horses will build to, throughout their preparations through races like Heatherly, Naturalism, etc. That day, September 1, it's building. Yes. I know SEN's a big part of it. It's got the Underwood Group 1, of course, the Rupert Clark back to that original date. You're going to have some really nice 3-year-olds through that Guineas Prelude. And, of course, the Tagger. Yeah, can't wait.
The tag is going to be that's going to be the biggest race. The winner of the Rupert Clark will be Lazura. She'll win that race after what I saw there in Sydney. And we had J-Mac on before. He gave her a great push. And that Underwood Stakes is going to be some race. Who knows? Who might rock up there? You might even get.
Yes.
I don't know. Waller's got to split some of his stars up, doesn't he? Did you have a chat to him today?
He does, yeah. It'll be interesting. I think the Memsey on Saturday will tell a lot. So where do these horses go next? To a Fian, to a Mackaybe, or do they wait 3 weeks and step right up to the 1800 3 weeks' time? That's the other interesting race on Saturday. This Cockram's going to come up very, very strong, the mare's race. Of course, Magic Time heads the market there. Group 1 winner of a Rupert Clark previously. Graham Begg really timing this preparation well for her. Mick D takes the ride. She'll resume there in the Cockram and then head towards the Rupert Clark Stakes. But Popper Ward, no one can stop her. The Leonie Proctor, Lynn Tolson trained mare. Great story there, bred by Debbie Kroger. Manal, Group 1 winner. And then you go down the page, Stretton Angel, and even horses like Another Prophet, 1,000 Guineas winner, and potentially the Robert Heathcote of Bounding. So that Cochrane's going to have huge depth.
I think,
and will tell a good guide to 3 weeks' time.
I think that the changes that the MRC and RV have made over the break, changing the spring up a little bit, is definitely going to work. And that Sir Rupert Clarke, I think, will prove that point, that traditional lead up now back to the Toorak.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's a real flow about the spring program, and that's going to be some day there here at Caulfield. So if anyone's looking for a race day that they can't get there, throughout those really big days in the spring, this Underwood Stakes is going to be a real horse fans race day. So get in early, mrc.racing.com if you want to lock in a package or some dining there on the big SEN race day.
And we'll be there. Tickets are just $20 as well at Ticket Tech for SEN Caulfield Underwood Stakes Day. And if the Melbourne Racing Club, if you want to become a member at the Melbourne Racing Club, and you get great perks being a member at the MRC, you can go to anywhere basically in Europe these days, at Goodwood or any of those tracks, and be a member with the ATC as well. You can renew your membership before September 1 and save on the early bird as well. So plenty of great offers. Just go to the MRC website. Bring on Saturday, mate. It's going to be some Memsy.
It is, yeah. Not forgetting, Gareth, while you're away, we reopened the Medallion Bar down there.
Yes.
So it's a great spot to be on a Caulfield race day, but you need to be a full member. So that extension of the MRC early membership is key. And I just wanted to mention Blue Diamond noms while you're away. They closed. And, of course, this Saturday in the McNeil, we've got the Blue Diamond Quinella going around.
Yep.
There was 1456 that nominated for the $2 million 26 Blue Diamond Stakes. Of course, I'm Invincible topped it.
Yep.
77 of his progeny going round. Waller, the big players there. But got stables like Chris Waller and Gai Waterhouse yet to win a Blue Diamond.
Yes.
They're really making a big play this year. Next stage is First Decks on November 11th. $350 and a chance to late nom if one of these 2-year-olds is starting to show you something through October.
Love it, mate. Plenty happening. We appreciate your time, and bring on that Memsy on Saturday. Thanks, mate.
Happy racing to you and the listeners, Gareth.
He's a good man, Josh Rodder. We'll take the news. We'll come back with the midweek masterclass and bag of tips.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News this hour. Not good news for the federal opposition if the latest poll is anything to go by. The Roy Morgan survey showing the coalition's primary support dropping to 30% compared to Labor's 34%. A hospital in Gaza has been attacked by Israeli airstrikes, killing at least 20 people, including 5 journalists. Triple murderer Erin Patterson will be back in court today for the second day of her pre-sentence hearing. The Rabbitohs say they won't be standing down Brandon Smith after he was charged by Queensland Police on drug issues, and more showers for Perth today as the volatile weather continues across parts of the country. SEN Sports next. Alexander Vukic has fought to the death in an epic round 1 match at the US Open. The Aussie eventually going down to American world number 72 Jensen Brooksby 4-6 in the 5th set. James Duckworth also lost to American Tristan Boyer. Better luck from Queenslander Adam Walden, upsetting French 22nd seed Hugo Humbert in 4.
No storage. Caulfield's spring opener, Saturday the 30th of August. $20 tickets at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. The Giddy Up bag of tips for Oz Equipment Rentals. Supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. OzEquipment.com.
And I saw Shane Bennett from Oz Equipment Rentals, the Ultima Hotel, Rising Sun yesterday, and he is in. I've never seen the boy from the Mallee look fitter. He's as fit as a Mallee bull. Bag of tips brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. The Ultima Hotel in the heart of the Mallee, just down the road from Swan Hill. Swing by for a cold beer. And Oz Equipment Rentals, supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. OzEquipment.com. We just went down with our Bet365 Mega Boost yesterday. We'll play race 6, number 9, Tong, at Ballarat today, race 6, number 9. And Mitchie Lewis also likes race 2, number 10, She's a Beauty. At Newcastle, Luke Ovanessian likes race 1, number 5, I Am a Winner. Race 6, number 4, Spec. And race 7, number 8, Hamoon Haroni. So race 1, number 5, race 6, number 4, race 7, and number 8. And at Grafton, race 2, number 6, Sugar Road. And race 5, number 8, Bonebee Beach. So race 2, number 6, race 5, number 8. Harness Racing New South Wales, the home of the Carnival of Cups, where Australian music royalty meets quality harness racing action. Race 7, number 6, Mickey Cohen is the tip there at Menangle today. And Darren Carroll, he's going at 51.6% winning strike rate this month. And it's Shepparton, and he likes race 4, number 2, Hitch to His Star. Hitch to His Star. And race 7, number 9, Jetta Sun. Race 4, number 2, race 7, number 9. That's Bag of Tips, all thanks to Oz Equipment Rentals and the Ultima Hotel. Time for a break. On the other side of it, the Midweek Masterclass.
Racing Club members, renew your membership before September 1 to save on early bird.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. On Giddy Up, it's now time for the Midweek Masterclass.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. We've got venues at Randwick on the Kensington Track, Hillside at Sandown, Doomben in Brisbane and Sportsbet Gawler there in South Australia on a Wednesday afternoon. Let's welcome in Mark Roden, first of all, with the Midweek Masterclass. G'day, Mark.
G'day, Gareth. It's been a little while. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, mate. Heavy 9 rail out 3 metres. What are you expecting there tomorrow?
Expecting a little bit of improvement. The weather's fined up in Sydney at last, so 22 degrees, today and tomorrow, so we could get to an 8 or even a 7. I'd expect them to be off fence in the straight, but otherwise reasonably fair.
Where do we start with your place?
We'll start in race 2. The market's got 3 of them pretty close together here. Number 2, Oh Hope, 4, Johnny, and 6, Pre-Star. I'm leaning to 2, Oh Hope. A few of these Godolphin horses have hit the ground running for their new stables. This looks to be one of them with Michael Friedman now. Attacked the line really well at Hawkesbury. Just showed a little bit of quality. I thought it was the pick of the 3 in the market. Just a little bit concerned about the map. Just having another look at the map this morning, I assume they're not going to want a piece of the lead, so they might just try and let it unfold. And from barrier 6 of 8, a few have the same idea he could be posted, but I might be overthinking that. I think at around 340, 350, he's not a bad bet. So
race 2, number 2, Oh Hope. What else have you got for us?
Want to play in race 5. I think number 5, Laroha's just come back flying this prep. She's hit the line really well, both runs this prep. First running second at Canterbury first up and then winning at this track last start. I think she's favourite, but I think she's too close in the betting to a horse like In Summer, who won a pretty average provincial race last start and was getting beaten in highways before that. And away from that, you've got horses like Johnny the Kid, who's got to be a question mark, well beaten first up off a long break. Ivan's Hero, who hasn't won for 2 years. I think it's only short because J-Mac's on it. I think Aroha you could have shorter than $3. So anything above $3.50, I'm looking to take. I want to save on number 10, Andron. 1 start, 1 win. Pretty good sections in its debut win on a very wet track at Kembla. Stuck to the inside that day, which was a bit unusual, but got the job done very nicely. Yeah, 1 from 1. It might be the one with scope that could knock off the favourite, but of those in the market, I've leaned pretty strong at number 5, La Roja.
Yep, for Karen McAvoy, Peter Snowden. So race 2, number 5, and Andron, save on the Team Hawks Train Galloper, which is number 10.
Yep.
Love it, mate. Exciting times. We appreciate you as always.
No worries, Gareth. Talk soon. Thanks.
There's Mark Roden there. Chris Nelson, he's got a couple of specials at Doomben for us. Track will be good. Perfect conditions there in Brisbane. Race 2, number 13, Wootton Hyde, and race 4, number 1, Andronos. So race 2, number 13, race 4, number 1, his plays there at Doomben. Mitchie Lewis joins us now. Sandown and Gawler are his meetings. G'day, Mitchie.
Good morning, mate. How are you?
Good, thank you, mate. Take it away with your plays. First of all, we'll go to Sandown.
Sandown, yep. A few I think I found there, but I'm sort of looking at ones I'm happy with the overs as always. Race 2. There's a few here on debut, but horse number 8, Pure Passion, ended up finding some listed and group level placings. She resumes here. She's trialled really well. Like I said, there's a few here on debut, so I just think with the experience she's got, Blake Shannon, barrier 1, she'll be in a prominent position. I like the setup, so she's held form from last prep. She's one that I think is a nice price there early in the card.
Yes, so Pure Passion, race 2, number 8. What else, mate?
Now, the other one will go for an early play today. I might come back with a couple others, G, but in race 8, horse number 11, Deep Float Diva for the Jollies, was a really good price. When I did the form last night, it was double figures. It's been well supported this morning. I want to be backing this horse each way.
Yep.
Damien Lane on. I know there's a lot of money for Tonkin, who was at a really good level last prep. She resumes here. Clearly the one to beat, but I thought Deep Float as an each-way play was the value, so she's shortened up a little bit now, so I think we could probably wait and she'll drag out maybe just a touch as it bounces back. But I think anything each way price worthy of Deep Float Diva with a bit of extra race fitness suits.
So that's race 8, number 11, and we're getting $7, $2.40, 10 into 7 overnight. So I like to push there, race 8, number 11. And your bet today, Thule, I think it is called.
Yes, two in a row in the synthetic on a good margin, G. So
Tong, I should
what,
say,
this time
for
of year,
Matty
those
Kamani.
synthetic horses. Yep. Flying on the syntho, so hopefully that's the key. Do you want one at Gawler for tomorrow?
Yes, that'd be great, mate. I'm just saying Tong's just been boosted to 260 today with Bet365. Take it away at Gawler, mate.
So at Gawler, obviously no prices yet. I'm hopeful that we get something floating north of the $3 mark for race 7, number 4, Mons Eagle. So third up here, the horse has won 2 third up, but it's also got a good record here at the track. Coming out of, what would I say, a harder race first up, was a little bit off him, but then improved second up. I think this is slightly easier than what it's seen, and the horse looks set to peak now. Barrier 3 races up on speed in a race that doesn't look like the horse is going to get pressured too much. So I think the race will be between the 4 and the 5, and hopefully we get a little bit of value early on the 4, because I think they might open the 5 up as the favourite.
Beautiful, mate. So race 7, number 4, Mons Eagle. Hey, love your work, brother. Keep on dominating. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.
No, thanks, mate. I'll chat to you then.
So race 2, number 8, Pure Passion. Deep Float Diva, race 8, number 11. That's at Sandown at Gawler, race 7, number 4, Mons Eagle. The tips there from Mitchy Lewis. Facing the Breeze, we'll talk some harness racing next. We've got a big breaking story there in the sport of harness racing. So Adam Hamilton and Anthony Butt to join me straight after this break.
Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival, October 11 to 18. Pre-sale tickets from just $30. Book now at Ticketek.
Live across Australia on SEN Track. Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. Garrard's Horse and Hound. Stocking the largest range at the best prices. Visit horseandhound.com.au. Live across Australia on SEN Track. This is Facing the Breeze with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. This is Facing the Breeze at 6 minutes to 10 o'clock. Let's talk harness racing. All thanks to Garrett's Horse and Hound with Anthony Butt and Adam Hamilton. G'day, Ants.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yep.
G'day, Adam.
Hey, Gareth, how are you? Exciting time in the game, isn't it?
It is. Big news this morning. Swayze will work at Menangle tomorrow. He's now the $3 favourite with Bet365 for the Len Smith Mile. And if he pleases Jason Grimson, he will be there, Adam, on Saturday week.
Yeah, this is it. Well, look, in some ways it's a huge twist, but with Jason, nothing's a twist, is it? So he turned up at the New Zealand Cup on a few days' notice. He's done it before. I think it was a Victoria Cup he sort of made a late decision on. So I'll tell you what it does outline to us is that the beast must have come back exceptionally well to look at a race like that first up. So It's actually a trial tomorrow. So we'll get some sort of guide on him there. But, I'll tell you what, this meeting, the Eureka meeting was already big enough, but having a rock star like Swayze add to it, a little unfortunate for those who thought they might get a Group 1 open class race without the big...
Yes. We just lost you there, Adam. I was talking to Jason before and I said to Jason, I've been away. I don't know if you've got to lift your game or you've been a little bit quiet with your lofty standards. And he said, hey, I'm still in front in the premiership and you just watch me over the next 6 months, Ants.
Yeah, he talks the talk, old Jace, doesn't he? And normally backs it up on the track. So, as I said, when the big races come around, he'll have the team flying. So, they're always hard to beat.
If you, before the Miracle Mile, you didn't think he was a great miler, but he should have won the Miracle Mile if he had any luck. If he turns up, Swayze, how do they beat him? If he's ready to rumble?
Yeah, I don't think it's as simple as that, Ants, is it over a mile?
Well, it depends where he draws. If he draws one again, like the Miracle Mile and gets crossed, he's in a bit of bother. But, you need a great start to win a mile, especially at Menangle when they're going to go, 47, 48 sort of thing. So, he's still a great chance.
If I Keep Smiling's the second favourite, Adam, then he'll start what? If he doesn't draw barrier one, he's going to start a short price favourite.
First up, the way Menangle's racing, probably faster than ever, I think, of what we saw last Saturday night.
Yep.
You've got to remember there's quite a few horses here that would be happy to lead and hold the lead from Swayze over a mile. There's no chance a horse like Speak the Truth would hand up to him over a mile. So the barrier draw is going to be important. I'm not saying he's not a great winning chance if he sits outside the leader, but, sitting outside the leader and trying to run 148 or faster and win over a mile is something pretty extraordinary. Look, don't get me wrong. He'll clearly be the horse to beat because he's second only to Leap to Fame and there's no Leap to Fame in the race. But I still believe the shorter the races, the more beatable he is, Gareth.
10 horses get into the Len Smith Mile. Is that right, Adam?
That's correct.
All right, then yes.
And good luck picking the 10.
I'll pick the 10 right now with the help of you, Ants. Swayze, yes, that's 1. I Keep Smiling, yes, you all agree, that's 2. Speak the Truth, 3. Captain's Knock, 4. Max Delight, 5. Sure Thing Captain, is he good enough to get in the race? Adam? We might have lost Adam. He's 6.
No, he's a certainty to get in.
All right.
Oh, he won 2 heats at the end of Dominion, Gareth. He's a lock.
Catch a Wave, 7. Nyack has to get in, doesn't he?
Yep. Terrific form in Queensland. Really good in the consolation. Yes.
Better Eclipse?
Finished off Queensland well. 3-time Group 1 winner, including a Group 1 at Menangle. He gets in.
My Name is Jeff. They tell me he's been guaranteed a spot. That's why he hasn't raced. So that's 10. I want Kingman to get in. I reckon he would have been hard to beat if he drew low, but...
Whoa. Hang on, sorry. Hyman named Jeff has been guaranteed a spot. He
Well, that's
hasn't
what
raced for 14 months.
That's
Gareth.
what I've been told. He's got Grand Circuit form.
But how can he be guaranteed a start if he hasn't raced for 14 months?
Well, that's why he hasn't raced, because he's been said that you'll get a start in a Lensif's mile. So there you go.
I find that hard to believe. I'm not saying the best version of him wouldn't have something to it, but that would seem unbelievably unfair to the horses that have been winning recently.
Stay with us. We'll discuss this straight after the 10 o'clock news.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Adam Pont with SEN News. At least 20 people have been killed in an Israeli strike on a hospital in Gaza. 5 journalists among the dead, with 2 strikes hitting the facility within around 10 minutes of each other. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu calling the incident a major mishap. Aaron Patterson is likely to be sentenced by September 8. Yesterday, the sole survivor of the mushroom lunch that killed 3 people, Ian Wilkinson, told the court he has forgiven Patterson for attempting to kill him. The prosecution arguing for life without parole, the judge agreeing the offending was horrendous. Accused killer police officer Bo Lamar Condon could enter a plea in court today on his 2 murder charges. He's accused of shooting ex-boyfriend Jesse Baird and Baird's new partner Luke Davies in Sydney 18 months ago. Their bodies later found near Goulburn. The ex-cop will appear in court via video from prison. The US is warning Australia needs to increase its defence spending for the AUKUS pact to be successful. A new report by an American think tank shown to all 3 governments involved in the collaboration is supportive of the deal, but says it's at a critical juncture and all parties must double their efforts in order for it to reach its goal. The Aussie share market set to retreat after stocks wavered on Wall Street following last week's big jump. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones both down, the ASX likely to fall 28 points. And almost 600,000 people in Vietnam have been ordered to evacuate as a typhoon batters the coast. Alexander Vukic has lost an epic 5-setter against American Jensen Brooksby in the opening round of the US Open. James Duckworth also bowing out. Adam Walton through in 4, upsetting French world number 23 Hugo Humbert. On the women's side, Destiny Ava lost, but Priscilla Hon got through. And Willie Rioli has called time on his AFL career. The Port Adelaide forward played 58 games for the Power after moving over from West Coast in 2023.
For Bet365, the world's favourite online betting company. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858. Live on SEN Track. Giddy Up's Country Racing Hour.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. We're into the Bet365 Country Racing Hour, and we're still with, of course, facing the breeze, all thanks to Garrett's Horse and Hound, the best range and prices on all equine essentials. Visit horseandhound.com.au. We're debating the Len Smith Mile field. There's one spot. So, hi, my name is Jeff. Kingman and Sierra, I reckon, answer the last 3 horses battling out the one spot. Who would you give it to?
I'd go with Kingman, I think, Gareth.
Yep.
I'm on your side. I think he's got the form on the board and recent form, so no, I'd be hard to see how my name's Jeff. I'd get a start ahead of him.
I agree there. I think that, and I might be a little bit biased because Mickey Harvey's a great mate of mine, a mentor, and he would, and I wouldn't, and I've said it before regarding his horses, I wouldn't put them in if I didn't think they should deserve a spot at him, but I reckon Kingman will add a little bit to the race. He smashed him first up for McCarthy. Captain's Knock beat him on a rain-affected track, and then he was pretty good there the other night. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Is that a Harness Racing New South Wales decision, or is it a Menangle decision?
No, it'd be Harness Racing New South Wales handicappers, I'm sure. I don't think it's not like a Miracle Mile where the Menangle committee would choose it. So, no, I think it'll be purely done on handicapping assessments, and I'm not sure any handicapping assessment that would count too much form outside of 12 months ago. So, again, would Hi, my name is Jeff add something to it? At his best, absolutely. He could win the race, but I just don't know how you can not reward recent form.
What about if he trials in 147 tomorrow?
Hi, my name is Jeff.
What about if he trials in 147?
I don't think a trial matters.
Okay.
Well, no, race him Saturday night, Gareth.
Yeah.
You can race this Saturday night. So that's the thing. Like, if they make the decision not to race him Saturday night, which clearly they have made that decision, then, as you say, if there's been some sort of understanding he's getting a run, gee, that's a bit of a slippery slope to go down, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. And like Art's done nothing wrong. He was mighty in the Inter-Dominion. He's got gate speed as well.
Inter-Dominion final, Gareth.
Yeah, so it's hard to leave him out.
He ran third in the Inter-Dominion.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing, isn't it? You haven't got Don Hugo or Leap to Fame. Swayze is back and probably in the race now, but still you're struggling to just settle on 10 horses. So there's certainly depth outside of the big three. I do feel a little bit sorry for all those people with the next level horses, because they probably thought, here's a chance to win a Group 1 without having to take on, 3 of the Beatles, and now Swayze's come out of the pack.
Has Kingman got a little bit of king? I'm not saying he's no King of Swing, but that Hunter Cup when King of Swing was left out and then he got a start and then he won that race after he found the front. I don't know if, so it's difficult for the handicappers. They've got to make a tough decision, and it'd be fascinating to see which way they go. Who's the horse to beat Adam?
Obviously Swayze if he runs.
Yep.
Catch a Wave if you knew he was going to reproduce last Saturday night. Horses shouldn't be able to do what Catch a Wave did last Saturday night. Like, mathematically, it's impossible.
Yeah, that's right. His signals are amazing, Adam, and as we've often said, he can just produce those runs, every now and again, and he's out of this world. So, he always seems to travel well and race well at Menangle. So, you think with a run not too far off the speed, he could blow them all away.
Well, Kate Gath just can't drive him like any other way like she did there the other day, Ants. Just do no work on him. A bit like what Gary Hill Sr. said to Junior after the Victoria Cup when he burned out of the gate. He said, under no circumstances, Junior, you're allowed to come out of the gate with this horse again. Just let him do nothing at the start and let him finish off like he can do. And I think that's the way you got to drive Catch a Wave. If he can produce those sectionals, he's going to win a lot of races, Ants.
Yeah, and he's sort of got that way as he's got older, Gareth. He used to have a lot of gate speed and could lead and won some big races from the front. But as he's got older, he seems to be now a horse that has to be driven like that. And when he's right, he's deadly, he can win any race.
Geez, I'd love to talk to him, Ants.
I've just got one. He's got a split personality, hasn't he, the horse? So I've got one question for Ants, and this is only a theory of mine. I haven't asked Andy Gaff, but could it also be, Ants, that he defies logic a little bit? Like, everyone seems to think with his sit back and sprint pattern he needs races run hard. could it be that he enjoys them slow when he can get into more of a rhythm and he's then just simply too fast when it's a sprint home?
Yeah, well, he's a funny horse, Adam, isn't he? And you know, he did go through a patch there of over racing too, but he seems to be over that. And yeah, like as I said, he's hard to work out, isn't he? Like he gets beaten races he should bolt in, and then he comes out and win races where he's got no right to win. So as you said, you wouldn't like to play cards with him.
Hey, Adam, who does the tab go with regarding their slot for the Eureka?
Oh, wow. They're in a bit of a tricky spot, aren't they? I mean, if you just take on face value what we saw last Saturday and Mickey to Success is available, there's not even a decision to be made, is there? Because Mickey, I thought I was watching Leap to Fame the way that he won last Saturday night. So, but I don't know the machinations behind the scenes with the Summit slot, the Danny Zav slot. I think Danny will go Fox Dan. This is only a gut feel.
Yeah.
Then does Summit go Mickey, or do they want Mickey to Success? But if you're at Tab, you have to be ringing the Mickey to Success owners and saying, can we grab you?
I reckon he wins. And do you know what? Cameron Hart has to drive him, doesn't he, Ants, over Bay of Biscay?
Well, it's a hard one. He's sort of got a good association with Bay of Biscay, and you know, he has got that form at the top level. And but yeah, like Hemisphere's team, they were just amazing the other night at Menangle. So, you know, it's going to be hard to beat Mickey to Success, yeah.
I want to be on. If Mickey's to Success does what he did there on Saturday, surely they can't beat him. They'll have to hand up to him as well, I reckon. Yeah, sorry, Adam.
No, it's just going to be interesting because don't forget, there's going to be at least 5, maybe 6 3-year-olds. So Bay of Biscay, Mickey to Success, Fighter Command, they're not going to be arguably able to draw better than maybe 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's, even though it's 2,300, that's going to make it hard. The next question is how many of the 3-year-olds, if they led, would actually want to hold the lead? And the answer to that is not many of them, maybe only fadeaways.
Who do you want to be driving, Ants, in the Eureka?
Oh, it's very even. You know, a lot of chances, isn't there? But I think Fighter Command's still going as good as anything. It was a big run the other night again against the top liners, and he's had a great preparation. You know, he's been sort of carefully handled and had a bit of grounding now. So, you know, he'll need a bit of luck, but I think most of them will. So I'll stick with him.
Adam?
I think Fighter Command, yes, but only just ahead of Sea the Stars. Gee, I think Johnny Hawkes has got a serious horse on his hands here. This horse's trajectory has been astonishing this season.
My own no yesterday for the means test, all right, was going to be Michael Hawkes, because I chatted to Michael Hawkes on a few occasions and he goes, yeah, Dad loves the standard breds. I'm not that quite into it. In fact, Dad would he would annoy me from time to time. He would we would have all these boom gallopers, thoroughbreds in the stable, and Dad would have his standard bred that he's purchased from New Zealand, and he'd look after it before these gallopers, and I couldn't understand why Dad would love these standard breds, and his mum Jane loves the Jenny, I should say, loves the standard breds as well. But then I saw Sea the Stars win into the Eureka, and Michael Hawkes was front and square there, getting the picture, the photo, and I rang him from overseas and I said, "You're unbelievable." And now he's in love with the trots.
No, he is, and I can send you a photo of evidence that he pushed everyone out of the way to get to the front of the photo after Sea the Stars won. And not only that, as soon as it got a slot, he rang Menangle saying, who do I talk to book tables?
No, Wayne's going. He's flying there. So they've got 2 tables. Unbelievable.
They're all going.
I think
even their third and fourth cousins are going. They're taking over Menangle.
Poor old Mrs. Hawkes, who loves the trots more than any of them, including John, who loves King of Swing. That was her favourite horse. I didn't think she even got a spot in the photo because Michael pushed her out. So there you go. That's what a good horse can do. Any winners for us, Ants?
Driving a pretty nice trotter of Brent Lilly's tonight at Shepparton, Brother Mountain in the last race. So I think he'll be hard to beat. Yep.
What about any of yours?
No, I haven't got much racing. I love the Calendar Girls. Probably got a good chance tonight as well, but haven't got much later in the week. Yeah.
All right. Then any winners for us, Adam?
No, I'll just wait till the fields to come out later on today. But yeah, it's going to be a heck of a meeting on Saturday week. That's for sure.
When will
Gareth.
we know the field for the Len Smith? Is it Monday or Saturday night?
No. Len Smith Field will come out next Tuesday.
Okay.
The final Eureka slots have to be locked in next Monday, and the Eureka barrier draws on Sky next Tuesday morning.
Yep.
Then Tuesday afternoon, the Len Smith Field will come out.
All right, then we'll catch up with you for a busy Facing the Breeze next week. Love your work, Adam. Appreciate that. Good on you, Ants. Keep
Love it.
dominating.
Thanks, boys.
See you, boys. Adam Hamilton and Anthony Butt. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Bet365 Country Racing Hour. That was Facing the Breeze thanks to Garrett's Horse and Hound. The best range and prices on all equine essentials. Visit horseandhound.com.au.
Free National Totes. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This is the Country Racing Hour on Giddy Up.
Feel this day, I can see this day, we're racing strong.
This is Giddy Up in the Bet365 Country Racing Hour, because it's never ordinary when it's brought to you by Bet365. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. From CRV, this young lady does a wonderful job, Nikita Ross, and she joins us now. G'day, Nikita.
Good morning, Gareth.
Congratulations on one hell of a night there on Saturday night. It's one of my favourite nights because being a country boy, to see all of the country clubs, and they come from all over country Victoria, and it's a big weekend. They enjoy a night out there for the awards night, and then they go and celebrate after. It's always a great night to catch up with a lot of people.
It certainly is, and yeah, we were absolutely thrilled with how the night went, and it was a really nice atmosphere, and like you mentioned, it's just an opportunity for all these hardworking participants and clubs and committees to come together, have a night out in Melbourne and celebrate and let their hair down a little bit, and that was certainly the case on Saturday night.
It must be difficult to choose these winners because there's a lot of clubs that do a wonderful job.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's a very tough job, and you could hand out plenty of awards each year. But 4 very deserving club winners this year, and exciting to have the new award category as well. Of course, recognising the smaller clubs and their events of the year, which of course went to Seppelt Great Western Cup, which is a terrific weekend there. So it was exciting to have the opportunity to also have that new award in there.
Yeah, Great Western, they had Fires there only a few years back, so they've done a wonderful job with their club to win an award like that and beat some strong opposition.
There's no doubt about that. They've had a tough journey, and predominantly volunteers, all the committee. Carl Barry, who spoke on the night, he takes leave from his job every year to prepare the track and just does an absolute power of work. He's been on the committee and a president for a long, long time. And, you can just see the passion that they have for their club and their community. And it is a really important weekend for the community. So Australia Day weekend, they moved from a Sunday to a Saturday this year. And I think that was the right move because, the day was fantastic. The whole weekend you can camp there and just enjoy a really laid-back, fun day at the races.
It was hard to go past Dashing for the Country Horse of the Year when you can win the famous Wangoom handicap over 1,200 metres under handicap conditions at Warrnambool during their famous carnival, and then turn up at another famous carnival in Victoria and win a Swan Hill Cup over the 1,600 metres.
It was a good effort, wasn't it? Aaron Purcell's horse, of course, Dashing, and it was a great competition this year with the 3 horses all really deserving to be there. Right and Rose, of course, for Moody Coleman, and then we had Rhinoceros for the Browns. That was took out 2 country cups, the Camperdown Cup and the Dunkeld Cup. So he contested plenty. So look, it was a really good competition. But like you said, Dashing's country feature records was outstanding, and of course he ran a placing in the Coastal Classic at Geelong, a placing in the Werribee Cup. So he took out all honours, and some very happy owners there. But it was great to have representation from all 3 Horse of the Year nominees as well. And speaking to Emily Brown a little later in the night, she said she's dead set on winning it next year. So I expect to see a few of their runners targeting country cups once again.
Well under Warrnambool too, the Warrnambool Racing Club. They won the big award of the night, being crowned the Bet365 Country Racing Victoria Club of the Year.
Yeah, and somewhat of a surprise to some, it was their first time taking out the awards. Okay. So they are a great club, there's no doubt about that. And to do the work they do, especially around May Carnival, is outstanding. So really deserving award winners there, Warrnambool, and I think they were celebrating well into the night as well because, like I said, it was a very well-deserved first win of Club of the Year.
A couple of highlights for me. I love the way that Linda Meach, she spoke there at the awards night. She took out the Never Wilson medal named after the superstar jock from Camperdown. Quill McQuilty from the Bullock Times won the Jack Styring, the SEN Jack Styring Country Racing Victoria Media Award. And the Bullock Times was a paper that I grew up reading, being based in the Mallee region. So well done to Quill. But the highlight for me of the night was Frank Pizzina from the Latrobe Valley Racing Club. A lot of love for Frank, and was one of the great acceptance speeches that you'll ever see there, Nikita.
I think disbelief is probably the best word to describe how Frank was when he was announced as the winner of the Tony Shanahan for services to country racing, Gareth. And I've seen firsthand the power of work that Frank does for not only the club but also the committee. There's no doubt they've gone through some really tough times, and Frank has really built that club back up. And he mentioned as part of his acceptance speech, when he joined the committee, they had 40 members and he wasn't happy with that. So he built that up to close to 300 in a year, and it's just kept building because of all the work that Frank has done as acting as CEO and chair, all on a voluntary basis. He works as well full-time, so it's just amazing the amount that he puts into the club, and a very, very deserving winner. And, he was absolutely chuffed, I think is the best way to describe how Frank was, and a very memorable speech.
Yeah, well done. And, it was a great speech, and I think he with that speech, it just proved what country racing's all about. They do it for the love of it. And, and he was so appreciative of everybody as well at that race club. So it was great to see. And well done to Logan Bates, who defeated Sarah Field, who's about to join us as the number one apprentice jockey in Country Victoria. And the Hayes boys, who are based these days in country racing, Country Victoria there. At Euroa, they took out the leading trainers, defeating Kira Ma. So terrific night. Well done to you, Nikita. You did a wonderful job organising it. Wouldn't be easy as well. So hopefully you've got a few days to relax now. And before you know it, I think we're heading to Benalla with Giddy Up and Bet365 for the Benalla Cup. So we're looking forward to that. These country cups will be in full swing now with the spring just around the corner.
That's right, yes. Looking forward to having you on the team there at Benalla to kick off Country Cup season, Gareth. It's only a few weeks away now, and, really exciting times.
Keep on dominating. Any winners in the trots for us, Nikita?
Oh, I don't know any winners, but I'll be cheering for See the Stars. I was listening to your chat with Ants and Adam just before. We've got a closely related sister going through the sales next year to See the Stars. So fingers crossed it can perform well over the next few weeks. All right then. We wish you the best of luck there. Thanks for that, Nikita. Well done on the weekend. Thanks, Gareth. There's Nikita Ross from Country Racing Victoria. It is 10:27. Let's take the news. And then Sarah Field, the superstar young jockey, will join us next after she rode her winner for her father for the first time there on Sunday at Swan Hill, Kez's Legacy. So looking forward to catching up with Sarah. Of course, her old man is Stephen Field. So it was a big day for the S Fields there at Swan Hill on Sunday.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News this hour. Not good news for the federal opposition if the latest poll is anything to go by. The Roy Morgan survey showing the coalition's primary support dropping to 30% compared to Labor's 34%. A hospital in Gaza has been attacked by Israeli airstrikes, killing at least 20 people, including 5 journalists. Triple murderer Erin Patterson will be back in court today for the second day of her pre-sentence hearing. The Rabbitohs say they won't be standing down Brandon Smith after he was charged by Queensland Police on drug issues. And more showers for Perth today as the volatile weather continues across parts of the country. SEN Sports next. Alexander Vukic has lost an epic 5-setter against American Jensen Brooksby in the opening round of the US Open. James Duckworth also bowing out. Adam Walton through in 4, upsetting French world number 23 Ugo Humbert. On the women's side, Destiny Ava lost, but Priscilla Hon got through. And Willie Rioli has called time on his AFL career. The Port Adelaide forward played 58 games for the Power after moving over from West Coast in 2023.
With Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This is the Country Racing Hour on Giddy Up.
Though at the 200 with the Wayfarer, they're having a battle royal, but flip the switch on the outside, coming hard. Reward the Sheriff, joined by the Wayfarer. Kez's Legacy getting through late. Reward the Sheriff in front. Kez's Legacy flying through, and Kez's Legacy gets through to score a half on Reward the Sheriff.
So it was a great performance there by Kez's Legacy, a 5-year-old mare. That was her second victory from 7 starts, trained at Kyneton by Stephen Field, and Sarah Field rode the winner there. I think it was the first time she rode a winner for her father, Stephen, there at Swan Hill. And I think it was race 6 or 7 on the card. And Sarah joins us now. Well done, Sarah. How about that there on Sunday at Swan Hill?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, it was incredible. It was such a good day. I'll never forget it.
What's it like training, or what's it like riding for your old man?
Normally it's not great because they're pretty slow. But yeah, she's new to his team, and it was his first start for her. So yeah, it was great that he's got a horse with a little bit of upside as well.
Yeah, is it easy to ride for him? Does he give you too many instructions? What's the go there?
No, it's actually very easy, and it's even easier knowing I'm going to get the ride on it if I slaughter it. So
yes. I see he's in the ownership as well. Is that right?
Yeah, he owns it, and my brother's partner actually has a small share, and my sister strapped it on the day.
Oh, how
so
good.
It was incredible.
Were you expecting that?
I did think she'd run really well. She's been trialling up really nicely, and the barrier was going to make it a little bit tricky, but it all worked out really well. So I was expecting a little bit, yeah.
And you must have been happy with your season last season, 35 winners across the country circuits in Victoria. You were second behind Logan Bates in the Apprentice Jockey Premiership for country race in Victoria. So it's been a great season, or last season anyway.
Yeah, no, it's been incredible. Obviously, everyone goes through sort of little patches where you get lots of winners and lots of support, but it's a tough game. But yeah, I had a really good season, and just riding a lot more confident and enjoying it. So it's been great.
Do you find now, like, when you get more experience, that you feel that you belong now? How long does that usually take when you start off your riding career? Then obviously doing a lot of work, but when do you feel that like it's getting easier in a way?
Yeah, it takes a long time actually. Yeah. I think I'd say everyone would be a lot different. I don't really feel the pressure all that much, but just, I think I'm still finding my way a little bit. But just the race sense and all that comes very naturally now and stuff. So it's just improving the little things. But it did take a long time, and you're always trying to better yourself as well, no matter how long you've been riding for as well.
Yeah, you're with Kira Ma, is that right?
I'm with Dan O'Sullivan.
Dan O'Sullivan, yeah. You enjoying that?
Yeah, I love it. It's such a great little team. Mel and Dan have been great, and Jayla's obviously apprentice there as well. And yeah, it's a great little team. I love it.
And Ballarat, there's plenty of opportunities with some of our leading trainers based there these days.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a good spot in the middle of everywhere. So it's good for gives you access to sort of travel to all tracks in Victoria and be sort of central to them all.
Yeah. So what do you think? What's been the biggest challenge? The challenge that you didn't think that you would have when you become an apprentice jockey?
It is quite like the mental side of it is quite training, especially when you care so much about it and you always want to be doing better. I think the mental side of it can be quite challenging at times because it's a tough old game. But I think that when you do have the good days, it sort of makes you forget about the little bit.
And you got it's not easy for the apprentices. You work bloody hard, don't you? Up nice and early, working track work, and then you got to go to the races, and then do it all again the next day. It's tough work.
Yeah, big days.
Yes.
And everyone's in the same boat, I guess. And you sort of get what you put into it. So and everyone's so competitive these days. you got to do the hard yards to earn your place and get your ride. So it's not just me, it's everyone. But yeah, it's tough game.
Can you win today? You got a couple of rides for Kevin McCartan, High Delta and Majestic Diva.
I'd love to, but I'd love to win on them. Kevin's a great guy, but probably not today, I don't think.
All right, then. We wish you the best of luck, but you should be proud, Sarah. You had a wonderful season last season and, love the photos, and it must have been a massive thrill to kick home Kez's legacy there at Swan Hill on the weekend. We appreciate your time here on Giddy Up.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.
She's a star, Sarah Field. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Brad Widdup. He had a big day, Brad. He took out the Goulburn Cup, and Savvy Halley, wasn't she superb there at Randwick as well?
With Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This is the Country Racing Hour on Giddy Up.
Sun and Sand and Super Helpful coming down the outside of Stadio Mastea, joined here by the Novelist, 200 out. Ruby Flyer sneaking up the inside. The Novelist hit the front from Stadio Mastea. Then Ruby Flyer up along the inside, hit the front from the Novelist, and Ruby Flyer for the Golden Cup. Beat the Novelist, Stadio Mastea.
Welcome back to the Bet365 Country Racing Hour. Well, he had a dream weekend, Brad Widdop. He's a superstar trainer. Savvy Halley was too good, of course, in the Silver Shadow at Randwick, and then the Flyer, Ruby Flyer, did the job there in the Goldman Cup, and Brad joins us now. Congratulations, Brad. That's some weekend.
Yeah, g'day, mate. Yeah, it was a great weekend. Wish it was like that every weekend, yes. But it doesn't work out that way. But yeah, no, it was great to win the race on Saturday, and a real big thrill to win the Goldman Cup. I'm a country boy from Albury, and it's nice to win those sort of races.
You must be happy with the way that, like, you've been a great trainer for a while now, but it seems to me that you got your best team, and you've got a team that you must be really looking forward to heading into the spring.
Yeah, we're building. Look, it's a process, building a training business, not an overnight sort of thing, unless you're lucky enough to get a Godolphin or one of them come along. But it's, you got to work hard at it and build your clientele and get your horses. And, I think we've been going about 8 years now. So, we're sort of getting that 10-year period where you'd like to think that you're established and things are going the right way.
Savvy Halley, she was superb, I thought, there on Saturday. She's a filly by Hellbent. I guess the big question out of those horses that competed on Saturday is that how did she pull up after competing on that heavy 10?
No, she was really good. Look, I think, there's certain horses, they're tough and they, try their heart out on a heavy track, and that pulls them apart. And then there's the ones that just, handle it really well, and she's one of those. She's great action filly. She's very athletic, and she's come through excellent, really.
Yeah, and what do you do with her now? She just continues on with that series?
Yeah, we'll go to the second leg for sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll just work it out from there if we keep pushing, or, we might even have a look for a trip down to Melbourne. Just not sure. Probably won't go too deep in the spring, but I think we'll just take race by race at the moment, but definitely heads to the second leg.
What's her best trip?
Look, I think she's very brilliant. I think, the 1,000, the 1,200's right up her alley, but she's probably good enough to stretch forever. She has ran second as a 2-year-old in a 400-metre race. Sometimes that can be a bit, like false, but, they can run at 2, but they're not really that type of horse. Who's a little bit better at the time, but, I think, I'd like to think she could run 1,000 a mile, put it that way.
Yeah. So that was a great performance there on Saturday by Savvy Halley. Then Ruby Fly did what she did there on the Goldman Cup. Were you expecting Ruby Fly to do that?
Look, he was terrific first up, shocking second up. Pulled up, poor post recovery. Nothing really come of it. It's one of those things where you're hoping that the vet's diagnoses a heart arrhythmia or something like that. At least gives you an answer. But he's disappointed me. He never went from the start. I was watching what's going on here. Anyway, we took him back and trialled him. He trialled excellent. And, he's freaking free on a heavy track. He loves the heavy track. And look, he's not a bad horse. With it, he's lightly raced. He's 7-year-old, I think he is. And, he's won a few bob. But, he swims. He is a swimmer. And we're lucky enough to get that Saturday. We've got a great ride up the inside. Yeah. Obviously, a few scratchings helped us. But, it was great to see him return.
I saw him there the other day when he failed. I guess And I heard you talking about him as well, Ruby Fly. And I guess, as you point out, as a trainer, you want him to have something wrong with him. Not too serious, but that gives you an idea of what actually happened.
Because obviously they can't talk to him. And everyone's just pretty above, we take their temperatures and, with all they wear heart rate monitors and everything like this. And, so we're pretty above everything, how they eat and how they're working. But sometimes they throw a shocker in. And like he just did not go from the start. Like it was just, and he's normally a very honest horse. So it was quite weird, and I can't answer you to this day. But of course we took him back to the trial so everyone could see that, I think we did the right thing there, and he trialled up really good. Alicia was wrapped in how he trialled. So, and like I said, we're lucky enough to get a heavy track, which definitely brings him into any sort of race.
And you've got one, of course, a good colt by Farnan in Nashville, Jack, for Mulberry, and it goes around. I think that do you start him in the San Domenico on Saturday?
Yeah, I got him in 2 races, got him in the benchmark race as well. Look, he just jumped too brilliant the other day, and he's still a bit raw in his racing manners and just overdid it. He's definitely a horse that needs to race with cover so he can, harness his potential. So, look, whichever way we go, he galloped really well this morning. So we'll probably put a crossover on him as well, just to try and help him relax a little bit better than, if I can draw a gate where he gets soft run, I'm sure he can bounce back and run. But look, he didn't run shocking the other day, but he just overdid it, and he needs to harness that a little bit more to be taken on that grade.
Who's your best horse in the stable, the horse that excites you the most?
Well, look, I think the two top tier at the moment is obviously Savvy Halley and Jetterbill. I think he flies under the radar a little bit, Jetterbill. Most of his... We didn't start him off till he's a little bit older, and then I've kept him away from... just slowly build up his record, and, we had a crack at Group 1 racing last time in the TJ and a... Galaxy and the Doomben 10,000, and he had excuses in all 3 without trying to blow his lid on it. But he's not far away. He's not he's not the top tier sprinter, but he's on their tail. So if he gets conditions to suit, he's pretty good on his day.
So where's he at the moment?
He trialled yesterday, so he'll run on the 6th. He'll either run here in the Concord, or I'll go to the Moya. Okay.
And he's come back well?
Yeah, he's tried up really good.
Yeah.
Kieran's trialled him here. Kieran McAvoy. He'll ride him here if we stay in Sydney, and Mark Zara's booked for Melbourne.
Oh, beautiful. And do you think he's taken, he wasn't far off some good horses last campaign, and you did throw him into the deep end, taking on some big races like the Doomben 10,000. He competed in a TJ Smith and Galaxy. Do you think he can take that improvement in that break and come back a better horse this preparation where he can finish a little bit closer?
Yeah, I think so. Look, like I said, he's... I think if we can place him right, things go his way, he's very consistent, and he can definitely measure up. Look, I'm not saying he's a Scalacci or anything like that, but he's definitely not far away.
Do you have a winner for us today, mate?
Look, the one thing Gandalf, I'm a bit worried about, it's a heavy 8 still. I was hoping the track would dry out a little bit more, but still a heavy 8, so I'm a little bit questioning if him soft going. And Forcefully's having a first run for me today. She's drawn 1. So it's the first race, so you don't get a guide on how the track's playing, so she could be stuck on the inside there, mightn't be any good. But she's looked outstanding. She's got not great form. It's a first run for me. She said Northern Rivers, Southeast Queensland lower grade sort of form coming back down here. But Look, she's drawn well. She's been trialling well. Looks good. So I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be sort of sitting on the fence with both mine today just to see what they do.
All right, mate. Well done on the weekend. You got an exciting team, and especially Savvy Halley. She was superb there, and that Silver Shadow. Thanks for your time, mate. On Giddy Up.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
There's Brad Widdop there. This is the Bet365 Country Racing Hour. Time for a break, and we'll come back and wrap up this Tuesday show.
With Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This is the Country Racing Hour on Giddy Up.
Welcome back to the Bet365 Country Racing Hour. This is Giddy Up. It's been a big show. Paulie Sebastiani, hello to you on this Tuesday morning. I think we might get Adam White back and we might get our NRL guru tomorrow for the Punters Club.
Good morning, Gareth.
Hello to you,
listeners.
Paulie.
How are you, mate?
We might even get you involved in the Punters Club to tip us in the EPL.
More than happy to do that after finding the punters a $34 correct score over the weekend. Arsenal 5, Leeds United 0.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
What's that? The social media man in racing, the blogger. I think he was tipping the same result there. He's an Arsenal supporter.
Oh, yes, Stephen Power. He's a big Arsenal man, huge Arsenal man.
Yep.
He was there with Henry Dwyer and the
Correct.
lot.
We might get him on the show in the next couple of days as well.
He'd be great.
Big Stevie Power. So Tottenham, my team. I hate Tottenham after they sacked Ange, but they're 2-0, aren't they? And they beat Man City.
Yeah, Thomas Frank. They are a big bogey team for Manchester City at Tottenham Hotspur, and they're every chance to lose to Bournemouth this weekend because that's just the type of club they are. But going well.
I think Pep's had enough. I think he's too tired.
He's reached the mountain, mate.
Yeah, he's too tired. He's won everything. And
he has.
He's lost all type of motivation.
They've still got the 115 charges hanging over their head.
Have they?
Yeah, it's still going.
Still
an ongoing process. It's out of the hands of the PL, so we'll see how that develops over the next couple of months.
You've got Ethan next to you, Tom De Koning. He's signed with St Kilda. You're happy to pass Tom over to Ethan?
The man is now set for life, and good luck to him and to good fortune.
And Charlie's going to Sydney, which is great news for the Swans.
I think Gold Coast are festering around that deal as well.
Would you get rid of him?
I wouldn't like to get rid of him, but if there's a big offer coming back the way of the Blues and, oh, mate, I want to be there, well, so be it.
Treasure of the moment was the best tip I reckon we got today from Josh Rodder.
He's a good man, Josh Rodder.
He's
one of the very best. I remember he tipped me Manzoice in the Derby a couple of years ago at Flemington. I didn't back it, but he is a very, very good judge. I'm looking forward to that Memsey Stakes this weekend.
And that Underwood Stakes at Caulfield on the 1st of September, highlighted by the tag. It's going to be some race. I like J-Mac getting stuck into tagging today as well.
He was good. He's in good form, J-Mac. He's in very, very good form. I think he was very happy to hear your voice back on the airwaves as well, just quietly.
I think Tags likes he just likes it that J-Mac knows who he is.
Hey, great morning, mate. Great stuff.
Paulie boy. That is Giddy Up, thanks to Bet365. Brendan Bloodstock and Bannon will be back at 11 o'clock after the show tomorrow. Guy Mulcaster and the team. We've got a good show coming your way with that as well. I'll catch you tomorrow from 8.